someone that we don't really talk about, haven't really talked about because he hasn't really done anything worth talking about. Your guy Nas. I mean, it's been 4 years or 6 years since his last album, and I mean Nas.
I mean, years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
good. 2012.
Yeah, you were what, a sophomore in college at the time, as a junior.
Yeah, what time of year to come out? Yes, a long time ago.
Crazy. Yeah. So Nas dropped an album, Kanye produced, Good Music Fridays, called Nasir, and it's a strange time for Nas because he's facing these allegations of domestic violence from his ex-wife, and he's never really addressed them other than some like comments saying that, you know, it's her taking shots at him, media slandering him, and that's basically what he says in, you know, broadly on this album, but never really addresses it. 7 songs, like all the rest of the Good Music projects, and
he's not even on Good Music though. I'm not sure why he followed through with the. You know, he could have got other people to give him a few more beats if Kanye was dead set on 7, but alas, it's 7 tracks.
And out of all the projects that Kanye has dropped, this is the one I was probably least excited for and least impressed by. Not so much for Kanye's part in this. I think the production is still great, and the samples that he pulled are just like, he has a Red Dawn sample in there at one point. He pulls from 2 Iranian pop stars, and also another amazing Slick Rick sample on Cop Shot the Kids, which just that song is fire. And this is a good project, but I just kind of left being like, man, I don't know where I stand on Nas at this point. Like, he had some awesome bars, and then he had things that I was like just scratching my head at, like that whole like Fox News was started by a black person, like saying that these things are facts alongside. I was just like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be provocative? Are you trying to like spread conspiracy? I don't know where he's at. And I'm wondering, for you, as someone who's a huge fan of hip hop, and Nas obviously is like almost like a godfather of hip hop at this point. I mean,
I just saw him last year.
Yeah, at the Meadows, right? Mm-hmm. And how was he then?
He was great. He has a lot of hits.
Yeah,
they're not as mainstream as Jay-Z, but he's still got fucking hella hits.
How did you feel about this album then?
Yeah, I kind of have the same thoughts I have about all of these Good Friday runs. 7 tracks. The good shit stands out more. The lackluster shit stands out more.
Right.
If it's only 3 or 4 good tracks, then there's not enough there to, you know, lift it up. It's harder for the album to stand out because it has less to work with. Especially an artist like Nas, who has Illmatic, one of the greatest rap records of all time, Stillmatic, one of the best follow-ups of all time. You know, he's got so many top tier records, and you know, he's 44. It's tough to expect him to knock it out of the park right now. But Jay-Z released his best album in 15 years last year with 444. He's 47? He's 48. You know, he's a few, not he's older. So you would have thought Nas perhaps could have had these allegations motivate him to get a little more introspective. At the same time, my thoughts around this album is that it came together more recently. Nas album done, legendary DJ Khaled joint from 2016. We just now got an album. I'm pretty sure Kanye got in Nas's head and was like, no, I got the idea of the 7, and Nas was like, oh, cool. So he probably scrapped or put whatever he had to the side and just made this instead. You know, kind of like what Kanye did to Ye when shit hit the fan. Sure. So I don't really judge Nas for it being good, not great, but I do think it's good. I think Cop Shot the Kid, like you said, is fucking awesome. The song with Diddy's really great.
Not for radio.
Yeah, the samples, as you mentioned, really pop, really stand out. And he's still a good storyteller, you know? I think Life is Good is fucking awesome. And that proved that it's not like Nas needs Ye. I don't think he needed Ye's beats either. He would have been fine without him. But again, it's a short album, so you have less time to, you know, stand out and, you know, make your point. And he didn't totally do it, but it's still good.
The emotional centerpiece of this album is Everything, which is the
dream.
Also, the only thing off this album or the only title that's not capitalized, which I also find there's got to be something behind that. But it's 7 minutes long, and the dream is great in it, and I think Nas' verse in it. But just as like the emotional centerpiece of this album, I just kind of left like, eh. Like just I want simple things. I want Not For Radio. I want Cop Shot the Kids. I want Nas going hard, and like when he tries to get to these, I don't know, emotional places, it really doesn't land for me. So that was probably the track I liked the least. I kind of found myself just wanting to skip it every time it came on, but the rest of them I thought are good to great songs. Like I think Cop Shot the Kids is a great song. So, like I said, it left me a little disappointed, but also for what I was expecting, was looking for from these good Friday drops, quote unquote. This was probably the one I cared about the least anyway. So Tiana Taylor next week, ready to see what she can do. Her debut album. So
second album debut, I forget. Yeah,
at least debut good music, right? So
yeah, it'll be her first that's hopefully made an impact. Her last stuff didn't do much for her.